Like the apple dance or big pants, is being transgender the latest trend? Proponents of something called social contagion theory might have you believe that. But the reality is a lot different. This is Xtra Explains Trans Trenders and Social Contagion Theory. Saying someone's got Riz instead of charisma, that's a trend. So are Stanley Cups and whatever that paging Dr. Beat song that's all over my FYP is. But being trans, that's not a passing fad. Back in 2018, this researcher, Lisa Littman, published this paper claiming that many kids, teens, and young adults who are coming out as trans were actually cis, and they were just being misled or misinformed by social media or wanted to fit in with their friends. She coined a term for this, rapid-onset gender dysphoria, or ROGD, which she used to describe the phenomenon of a young person suddenly identifying as trans due to some sort of social influence or contagion. Basically, her research suggested that the same way you feel like you need a knockoff Stanley Cup after seeing Stanley Cups all over your FYP, a person might suddenly decide that they're trans if a bunch of their friends start doing so, or if they read about it online. And Littman argued that these individuals shouldn't have access to gender-affirming care, since in her view, they aren't actually trans. But it's all based on bad science. Littman didn't survey any actual trans youth, and purposely sourced many of her interviews from online forums for parents questioning the medicalization of trans youth. Since Littman's study was published, researchers have been unable to actually replicate her findings. A 2023 paper that relied on a survey of over 27,000 trans people across America found that whether people started to understand themselves as trans as kids, teens, or adults, most waited a very long time to tell anybody else. The median time between their personal realization and their first coming out was over 10 years. And specifically among those who realized they were trans as children, on average it took them 14 years to come out. That's slow onset, not rapid. If anything, social contagion theory is the trend, not being trans. But still, Littman's ideas got picked up by conservative politicians and started getting cited as fact, despite the bad science, in actual anti-trans laws across North America and the UK. For example, in 2022, Florida specifically referred to the ROGD's hypothesis as justification for prohibiting Medicaid funds for gender-affirming healthcare. Being trans isn't new. Trans people have existed as long as the concept of gender has. But when trends like social contagion theory go viral, they can have real tangible impacts on people and their access to care. And that is far from crispy. Cool teens, did I use that right? For more explainers on everything you need to know about trans youth, head to xtramagazine.com.